Tom, can you see the screen?
I sure can, yep.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I would like to welcome everyone here today in our viewing audience to the April 22nd, 2021 meeting of the City of Davenport Zoning Board of Adjustments. Your participation in city government is appreciated and welcome. If you have a mobile device, please turn it off as it may interfere with the room's electronics. My name is Angie Laibach, Vice Chairman, serving as chair today. And the zoning board members present today are in person Dan Darlin and on the phone Pat Quinn. Tom Quinn. Staff present Scott Coops and attorney Mallory Hoyt. The Zoning Board of Adjustments is a 5-member judiciary board established by state law. We are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by city council to serve without compensation for a 5-year term. The board meets twice a month to hear appeals involving hardships from strict application or current zoning laws. We also grant special use and rule on administrative appeals. Are there any corrections to the minutes from our last meeting? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed. Can I have a motion to amend the agenda to remove request SU 21-02?
I move to remove the request SU 21-02 from the agenda for this evening.
I'll second.
Oh,
Passed.
vote.
It's a voice vote.
Oh, sorry.
All in favor.
Quinn,
Yes.
Darland,
Yes.
and Layback.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn, we removed that because the applicant came in right before the meeting and requested to have it removed.
So the motion passed. Old business,
Yep, so old business is done, and then we're on to new.
new business. Is the applicant here? Applicant, as you can see, there are only 3 members of this 5-member board present. Approval of any motion will require the unanimous vote of all 3 members present. Our bylaws grant me the discretion to allow you to request a tabling of this hearing until a later date. Would you like to proceed, or would you like to have the meeting tabled?
Once the meeting starts, we can't stop the proceeding and table it. I know, I'm just saying this, it's a once or nothing type deal.
Oh, I don't have the case.
I got it, yeah.
You want me to read it? Okay.
I'll just read it.
Okay, perfect, yeah. Okay, so we'll have the staff report next.
This is request, it's HV-02 of William Ron on behalf of Daryl Hahn at 1239 Waverly Road for a hardship variance to construct a 120 square foot detached garage measuring 30 by 40 that will exceed the allowed area by 252.5 square feet. The existing dwelling has 1,895 square feet of living area, which allows for 947 square feet of detached garage area. Half of the dwelling's living area is allowed by right for a detached garage. And I'm Scott Copes with Neighborhood and Planning, and so the request, again, just to put it a little more commonly, is that we have requirements for garages. When it's a detached garage, it's based on the living area of the house. So that calculation, compared to what's proposed here, exceeds it by 252 square feet. This is the site that has a new home on it, And this is the neighborhood here on the right, and you can see the star kind of shows about where the garage is going to go. And this is just the same thing, zoomed in a little bit. The proposed site is just going to be extension of the existing driveway, and that driveway will be paved. This is the house that's on the lot, floor plan, and you can see here there's an existing two-car garage there. And some more information about the site. It's zoned R4, and as we talked about, half the living area is allowed for a detached garage. The dwelling is newly constructed in 2020. The property has an existing 506 square foot attached garage. So the proposal is to add another 1,200 square feet of garage space to the property. Here's the site plan, and you can see this blue cross hatching. That's where the added driveway would be approximately. And here is the proposed garage, which would be 30 feet deep, 40 feet wide. And these are the garage plans. The bottom right has the front that will face approximately the street or mostly the street. It has a two-car garage door, a one-car garage door, and then a man door next to that. And again, it's 30 by 40 is the dimensions. And so here's just a little bit more about what's on the property. So the dwelling has a footprint of 30 by 44. The proposed garage, again, is 30 by 40. 502, again, is the two-car garage. 1,200 added to that, it would be 1,706 total garage square feet for this property, should this be granted. And again, the dwelling, the total square foot of dwelling is 1,895, which includes some finished basement area as well as the upper level that we can see here on this floor plan. We did send out notices to all surrounding property owners, I believe it was 8 or 9, and we haven't received anything back as a comment. Some things that are notable, the application mentions a lot of times the clearing of trees and brush and debris and undergrowth is a job that they have to do. Having a job like that, I understand you need to get it done, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to purchase all the equipment to do it, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're entitled to store everything at that site. We still have limitations on what our garage size can be, and to scale a garage like this that will be there for the life of the property, most likely, or a large part of the life of the property, based on a one-time need for clearing of trees, that's why our code doesn't really necessarily allow scaling a garage to whatever size you want. The site does have 506 square feet right now. The addition would be a 3-car addition. If they did add a detached garage under the existing regulations we have, which require half the living space, they could have a garage that would be 30 by 31.6 square feet, and that compares to the 30 by 40 what they're proposing. And so, just again, 30 by 31 would be allowed by right, whether this variance gets approved or not. In staff's report, we looked at if the ordinance has created a hardship, we looked at topographical issues, is there any unique circumstance, and, pardon me, and the protection of essential character. Staff has found that those have not been met. Proposed garage has not met the approval standards for hardship variance. A 30 by 31.6 accessory garage is allowed by right without a hardship variance. Staff cannot recommend approval of the request. I'm open to any questions from the Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Okay, Since we have no questions, the applicant can please step up to the podium and present your request. Can you state your names too for the?
William Ron, and that's Daryl Hahn, my wife. This overhead speaker. Volume, there's a volume page. Volume. Only so much artistic, yeah. Oh, the meeting, at the meeting, no, that's not it.
What about volume? Exit. Audio adjust.
There you go.
Nope.
And where's the one that says it's the table?
Can you tell them to pause?
Can you hold on a minute, please? We're verifying that that microphone is working. Sorry about the interruption. Oh, wait. No,
I'm sorry, I just clicked.
Oh, the red mute was on, so we need to take the red mute off.
Can you say something now, please?
Oh, yes, yep. Hello?
I don't know, we can't quite tell.
Is this any better?
It's above you.
I don't.
Yeah, it's right above is where the speaker is.
Oh.
I think it's better.
You know. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Be good. Thank you.
I can't go.
Yeah, we're good, thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Commissioner Quinn, can you hear the applicant speaking?
I could not hear the first time, no,
Tom, can you hear me now?
but,
Yeah, it was on.
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. So I guess once again, William Ron
And Daryl Hahn,
and
my wife Sue.
As Scott mentioned, one of the main concerns was the amount of vegetation and overgrowth that's really on the back. Large lot, 2.5 acres, thereabouts.
2.4.
2.4 acres. A lot of trees, a lot of dead trees, and a lot of undergrowth that does need to be cleared up, and will be an ongoing issue for the life of the property, because trees are gonna, actually age out and create more brush and stuff that needs to be taken care of. And also, the reason we decided to come this route and apply for a variance for the size of the garage was, the other alternative was to finish more of Daryl's house. That was an option, but the way that is worded would really just essentially require us to have a carpet floor and some kind of wall covering, and then something to enclose the ceiling with, which would have been possible, but not practical long term for the property. Whereas this building adds value to the property, and in a way will not degrade the visual appeal of the neighborhood. That's a big thing that we want to make sure that we weren't going to do, and that's why we matched colors as best we could with the siding choices we made, the roof pitch that we went with, the overhangs. We tried to dress this building up in a very clean, appreciative way. And I will note on the location, and because you kind of saw from one of those photos, but as you might know, Waverly Road, pretty hilly. Their driveway is a very steep driveway, and by the time you get to where that building's at, they really only have one neighbor that's going to be able to see the building. And from the road, you'd have to be craning your neck real hard and going real slow to see it. It's not like it's in their front yard, way out in public view, and ain't going to cause any kind of visual distress.
Yeah, and I did talk to that homeowner too, and he was very supportive of us putting that building up, so there was no hesitation on his part at all. And as William said, it is really important to us to make this building look like it's part of the neighborhood, fits in with the house. We did everything we could think of to The 10-foot sidewalls would match the house, the colors would match as close as we could get. The windows in the overhead doors will match the windows in the garage door. And the pitch of the roof, the overhang of the roof, everything we could do to make it look as close to the house as we could.
Plus, I think, and it really does, I guess, depend the way you want to cut this sentence, but, you know, we're asking for 252 square feet extra. That, depending on how you want to look at it, sounds like a lot. In my opinion, you know, as someone who's built quite a few of these buildings, 252 square feet is something that you fill up with storage rather fast. You know, between a toolbox, a lawnmower, you know, a weed eater or a brush head attachment or something for a tractor, you eat up 252 square feet pretty darn fast. And it doesn't sound like a big deal if you're looking at it from way out as a broad concept. But when you really dial in the nitty gritty of what you need to maintain a property this size, you need every bit of square foot you can have.
And again, the use of the building, the use of the equipment is not a one-year thing. It is an ongoing process. It's 2.4 acres. That's a lot to maintain, and it takes some equipment to do that. And to not have it on site would be a real hardship for us to have to load up a tractor, haul it across town, and use it then. So
Plus the cost of having that rental space, you know, maybe using a self-storage place, $75 a month. Those places do have break-ins from time to time, and leaving it obviously out in the public view would not be ideal either for both protection of the equipment and, you know, to prevent theft and other possible hardships that could be generated that way as well. I think we're at 5 minutes. I don't know if time's been going fast for me or slow.
Are there any questions from the board?
None for me.
So I have a question. Do you plan on, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
No, nothing for me.
Oh. So do you plan on using this whole garage for storage to maintain the property, or are you going to put vehicles in here too?
there will be a pickup truck, a small tractor, lawnmower. So there will be some equipment
So
in
there's
there.
like a pickup truck, so it's not necessarily to maintain.
Well, it's used to haul material in and out, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is
So-
part of that.
If you went with the standard size, what would you just lose, like this door area? Would they lose just this door area here?
We would.
We lose basically the size of a living room.
Yeah, we lose 8 by 30 feet. So we lose. Well, no, that's.
Approximately 9 by 30, which 250.
Those posts are
4.7.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 250. Yeah, they would lose, 252 square feet would be lost if they built without a variance.
So could they still have the 3-car garage?
You
No,
can still
no,
fit
no,
3
no.
vehicles in a building that size. Yeah.
No, it would go down to a 2-car.
You'd have to go to a 2-car.
Yeah.
But you could still construct a garage to fit 3 vehicles at that size.
Not. I would disagree only on with the driveway and the way that his entire property is slanted. It'd be tricky to get a car in on the side if you were gonna pull it in that way or come in through the door and then angle off. It'd be difficult to fit 3 cars in a 30 by 32 building, or if they're about 30 by 31. It'd be pretty difficult to fit 3.
Okay. Does anyone in the audience want to speak in favor of the request?
Sue, you got anything to say? Do you have the golden ticket?
Does anyone in the audience want to speak opposed to the request? Applicants, do you have any final comments?
Please. And thank you.
You know, we really appreciate the time for the board members. We feel like that for a lot this size, a 30 by 40 building will look appropriate. And it certainly will help us in what we try to do to make this building and this lot our home. We moved to Davenport last year as a part of my retirement. And so Sue and I look at this as being our last home. And we want to fix it up, fix the lot up, take care of it, and make it a good thing for the neighborhood. And so that's our intent, and we sure ask that you give us some consideration on this 252 square feet that we're asking for.
Okay, board discussion?
None.
Scott, is it true that no one's going to be able to see this? That no one's going to be able to see this from the bottom of the road, that only one neighbor would?
I could pull up something on the internet here, but my understanding is there would probably be something that you could see, but neighbors would definitely be able to see it as well.
We did send some pictures from the street, so.
Oh, probably some mask, I guess. Mr. Quinn, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So that's the house that's to the north of them there. And that other house you can see is the one that's being built between that's not their property. Their property's right here. Let me get down a little further. So as you can see, there's a trailer there. So you would be, and you can see that hill of dirt really easily as well. So in my opinion, yes, you would be able to see the garage.
Let me show you, if I could, some pictures from the street.
Would you like me to send it to your email, Scott? Do you have access to that?
I guess, sure.
Have you got those, William?
I do.
Yeah, the Outlook. We had trouble getting this logged in. We'll see. I don't know that it's here.
I did send 2 separate emails with 2 separate images.
Oh, see, that's an app, though. I don't know what
That's great. I'm gonna set it up on my computer for
that
you.
is.
May I show it to the 2 present?
Why don't you just wait until he has it up?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, all right.
Is there somebody
If
else?
you've got a way to get it on Outlook.
Yeah,
that'd be
let's
good.
wait.
Hold out hope for Outlook.
And the person who's online won't be able to hear you unless you step closer to the podium.
Okay.
So if you're going to explain the pictures though.
Okay. They should do most of the talking themselves.
Okay.
So as you can see from the road, you can see Daryl and Sue's house. You can see their current pickup truck, which does not fit in their 2-car garage.
This is Sue.
That's Sue, and that's back where the building will start.
She's standing basically in the center where the building would be.
I'm not going to say that this building is somehow going to be invisible to the naked eye, but it's not going to be, as I said, down in their front yard, right off the road, as close to that as we could get, and just an eyesore for everyone to look at. That is not what I, as the builder, want. That is not what Daryl and Sue, as the homeowner, want. That we simply want to be able to meet what they need out of their building and to build it in the most professional way that we can. And there is one other one if you'd like to show them as well. It's a little bit kind of up the street as you head down. So once again, there's Sue at the corner where the building would start. Once again, you're
Yeah. Our property line starts here and goes across here. So you can see we're quite a ways off of the property line. And the nearest neighbor is right over here. So. And that's coming down basically from the north. And that will have the most exposure of the building from the street.
Okay. Okay, so I guess I'm going to ask for a motion to approve request V821-01 for the detached garage.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I'll do roll call. Quinn,
No.
Darland,
Yes.
and Layback.
No.
The motion fails, 1-2.
With no other business, I call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Adjourned.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.